Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/cheating stories, where OP caught his wife getting nasty with his best friend. Let's begin. Cheating has destroyed our relationship. Posted by Reddit user Hunting Emotion.
I was 20 years old when I started talking to this guy, now my boyfriend. It was 2018, beginning of November. We had been friends for a while and we had gone to the same school since middle school, but never really talked during just years. Fast forward to my college years. He started messaging me and wanting to hang out. I made it clear I just wanted to be friends because I was so busy working and with school. I didn't want to be in a relationship and not of the time that a relationship requires, and I didn't want to waste his time knowing this. Fast forward to December. We start talking more and we actually do end up dating. I had some guys interested in me but dropped everything when we started talking, as we should. We talked, but he never really asked me to be his girlfriend. Red flag. We would see each other once a month or twice if we were lucky. We lived in the same small city. I thought it was a bit weird, but I hadn't dated anyone in a while after a messy breakup of a 4-year relationship with someone else. So I thought we both worked and both were busy since he was in school at the time too, and he claimed that he was almost always with his best friend. I had a feeling something was wrong but never really said anything. He asked me out sometime in May after his mom's birthday and I said yes. But it was a bit weird because fast forward June 30th, 2019 comes along and he asks me out again. I was confused but thought maybe it wasn't clear the first time. I said again yes, and that was that. Around the time we started seeing each other a little more often and then almost every single day. I was a virgin, so we didn't really have sex until September 2019. We talked about it before we even dated, and he said he wouldn't rush anything and would wait for me to be ready, which I understood if he didn't want to wait. I just didn't want to waste his time or mine. 2021 we had our first kid together. He already had a son he had 2015. He was very excited and was there through the whole pregnancy. We moved in together October of 2021 so we could be together when the baby arrived. It took so long because apartment applications and stuff were a handful and we couldn't find anything we liked in our budget. Anyways, he's been a great dad and has always helped to change diapers, wake up with the kids, sometimes even cooks for me, has always gotten me flowers without it being a special occasion, helps around the house, and so far, the best partner. However, something happened that made me lose trust in him. 2022, around maybe late July or August, my son got sick. It started up during the night because he kept having a high fever. I got curious and got my boyfriend's phone. I had never checked his phone in the years we were together. I go through it and find out that he cheated on me with multiple women, even his ex while we were talking. Even cheated on me with a 40-some-year-old, close to his mom's age. I saw a side of him I never would have thought of. He had videos. I found dates of him cheating since he would text his friends about it. He even had sex outside of his boss' apartment with someone he claims to not remember. It was about 6 girls, maybe even more. He kept having sex with his ex and even had to buy her a Plan B pill. His baby mama kept sending him money for food while he was at work. Never told me what that was about. So I left that morning to take my son to the doctor without even letting him know I was leaving. He cried and I couldn't forgive him, but I did after going back and forth. I made myself think this happened before he officially asked me out, which didn't really matter. He still cheated, but other than that, before he asked me out on June 30th, 2019, I couldn't find anything else. I now have trust issues and I'll admit that our relationship is not what it used to be. Lately, he hasn't been charging his phone. For example, last night he put it in the nightstand and I was breastfeeding my daughter on the other side of the bed. I then moved to that side of the bed since I had put my baby down in the bassinet, which is close to the nightstand. His phone was still there, but eventually he grabbed it and moved it to his side. So he hasn't been charging his phone at night anymore. I think he's hiding something, but when I have checked the phone, I haven't found anything. I'm not sure if I should bring this up because I don't want to sound crazy. He is almost always at home with us, so I want to believe that only happened that year and it will not happen again. But at the same time, I have also thought of leaving because it's not healthy to always be having trust issues. I one time cried it out to him, telling him I was tired of it, that I didn't trust him anymore and that I didn't know if we should continue the relationship because of that. I know deep down nothing will ever be the same and I will always be thinking about stuff.
OP, while I believe he didn't cheat on you at the time since there was still no relationship technically, it was still a shitty move that he kept banging his ex and didn't explicitly said that the two of you were not exclusive. And if he's still hiding his phone to this very day, then he is probably still up to shit. Also, we have this common exchange between OP and Richard's world again.
If you weren't officially dating at the time, what's the problem? Doesn't sound like he's doing anything now or since you've been officially a couple. Yes, you have trust issues, but he's allowed you to see the phone and the only thing you find is before you were officially dating. Just make sure you have an open phone policy so you can check anytime to make you happy. The thing is that I had already met his parents and he met mine. I would get him gifts and he would get me gifts, even for his mom's birthday because to me we were already together. He literally met up with another woman the day after his mom's birthday. We spent my birthday, Valentine's and other holidays together. Yes, technically he didn't ask the official question until June, but we were already kind of dating, not just talking. It had been 7 months already, way past the talking stage. Problem is, men need to be told. He probably thought you were not committed at that point either and maybe seeing other people.
My wife cheated with my best friend. Posted by Reddit user C Werewolf. But before we continue, I just wanted to give you guys a trigger warning. The following story has some very disturbing content. So if you don't want to deal with that, then I suggest waiting for tomorrow's video and skipping this one entirely.
I have been happily married for over 17 years. However, this story is about my first wife and how she betrayed my trust. I married my first wife after a 1-year courtship. We met through mutual friends and we were instantly attracted to each other. She was fun, an extrovert, social and very adventurous in the sack, which made for great company and fun times. I really felt I had met my soulmate and dreamed of raising children and growing old together. We both moved in together in a small apartment with my Alsatian. He is a faithful dog and I have loved him and raised him from a puppy. I work in the oil industry and there are times when I travel out of state and even the odd trip out of the country. My wife was a full-time nurse and was able to juggle her work commitments with her hobbies, one of which was attending a local fitness gym. A year into our marriage, I noticed on my return from one of my trips that my wife was not as attentive and a little distant. I asked what the problem and she just said that she gets a bit lonely and misses me when I am away. I didn't have long trips, up to 5 days max. Her circle of girlfriends were very supportive and she often went out with them, but was always home on time and she avoided getting too drunk or staying out too late. We texted during the evenings. Over the next few months, our bedroom life waned. At the time I did not suspect cheating or an affair, but understood that my work was taking me away, a small sacrifice to pay for our future long-term security and family. It was one weekend when I was browsing our bedroom desktop computer that looked, for no particular real reason, at the browsing history and started to see access to certain sites that were frankly both disturbing and quite alarming. I thought that maybe they were the type of sites that were the product of malware, things which pop up when browsing, so I ran a program just in case to sort out any unwanted virus or malware. Having cleared the history, cache and run the virus and malware check, I thought it was done and never really paid much more attention until a couple of weeks later I checked and again and exactly the same sites were there. I came to the realization that my wife was for some reason accessing these sites. I spoke to her about these sites and she said that she was browsing certain porn sites and these specific sites were popping up and curiosity had gotten the better of her, but realized that they were disturbing. I am not some Puritan who would deny my wife seeking to view porn, but the nature and content of these particular sites were not healthy in my opinion and she agreed wholeheartedly. I thought we had pretty transparent relationship and did my best to support her happiness. I monitored the browser activity over a couple of weeks and nothing really happened. I assumed lessons were learned and that type of curiosity was gone. She seemed happy and more attentive. I got word of an impending business trip that would take me away for a week. Before I went, I thought I would activate the desktop webcam with some remote software. I thought it would help keep a connection between my wife and I mentioned to my wife that the webcam would be active and we could easily talk at some set times when we both could agree. If I felt a little naughty and exciting to be honest, and I thought about how we could connect and chat via video conference while I was away. I also configured the computer for remote access. I had found this helpful previously to access certain files, and this particular software I had could also control the webcam. While I was away, I managed to call her a couple of times and it all worked fine. During the week, I decided I would check in during my lunch break. I called the computer, but there was no pickup. I was a little concerned as I knew she was meant to be there as it was not a work day, so I accessed the computer remotely and activated the webcam. I could see my wife naked on the edge of the bed with a very excited Alsatian. I could not believe what I was witnessing.
Freak! Don't you know? Get out of here! Go away!
Thank God I'm blind.
I recorded about 5 minutes of the activity and closed down the webcam and software. To say that I was in shock was an understatement. The last 2 days of my work was unbearable. I rushed home and found my wife was on the sofa waiting for my arrival. I asked her if anything eventful had happened while I was away and she just said nothing out of the ordinary. I said, so getting off with my dog is normal. She just looked at me and asked me what on earth I was on about. I proceeded to show the video. She was immediately full of remorse and shame because she was caught, pleading that it was only the one time and she had just got out of bath and it was not what it seemed. Unfortunately, the video was pretty clear and her actions told their own tale. I couldn't look at her and felt complete and utter disgust. The same disgust that I had when I saw similarly aligned websites within the browser history. I told her that this was not acceptable and she had hurt me so badly that it would be better if we separated. She went to stay with her parents. I never showed the video to anyone, and when the divorce was finalized, I told people that we just had differences that could not be reconciled. I lost touch with her when she moved abroad. I simply could not accept the depravity and had to give my dog away. I will never forgive her for the betrayal and abuse of my best friend. TLDR, caught my first wife with my best friend that ended our relationship.
Holy fucking shit, OP. That was not the best friend I thought she would be having an affair with. God damn it, man. I don't even know what to say. I guess that doggy style was the most accurate she will ever get. And I'm praying honestly to God that this is fake. But if it's real, then she seriously needs some help. And if it's fake, then you, OP, is the one that needs help. Either way, it is extremely disturbing, and I think that if you mentioned the nature of the sites earlier, a lot of us could have stopped reading altogether a lot sooner. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.